Dylan's extraordinary career is still going strong after more than 60 years. His catalog of recordings and songs mark him as the Shakespeare of our time. The sheer number of songs he has written and recorded is amazing. The variety of styles and genres bespeak a veritable encyclopedia of American music. He emerged in a culture of song catching when archivists like Alan Lomax and Harry Smith were collating albums of recorded music by obscure country and blues artists from the early days of recording. For his entire career, Dylan has kept that vein, stealing lines, rewriting lyrics to old melodies, performing cover songs in every genre, and playing in every sense of the word with our American musical heritage. A brief chronology. He played rock and roll in high school, spent time in Minneapolis singing traditional folk songs, moved to New York and released in succession a blues album, a folk album, a protest album, and a love and confession album. In the electric blues rock period that followed his poetry became visionary while his road band, The Band, played at a deafening volume that drove traditional folkies crazy. He took a lot of drugs, lived at fever pitch, and wrote brilliant songs all the while. In 1966, he had a near fatal motorcycle accident, moved to Woodstock, and disappeared from the public eye. His switch from acoustic to electric music fractured his audience. He was already the most influential singer in the world, the voice of a generation, but he refused to be pigeonholed as a protest singer and role model. His response to superstardom has been to continually shift roles and voices and to create ambiguous, elusive lyrics that cannot be reduced to one meaning or statement. Sometimes he dons the mask of a plain-spoken first-person narrator who does not necessarily proclaim the personal opinions or politics of Bob Dylan. That's an artist's prerogative. Yet at the heart of many of his songs is a sincerity, an intensity of purpose, and deep desire to get to the truth, no matter how ugly, painful, sentimental, or beautiful. Many of Dylan's most beloved songs come from the 1960s. We sang a few of them the last time. Today, I'd like to look at songs written after the retreat to Woodstock. His shape-shifting continued. Over the years, he became a country singer, a gospel singer, a traveling minstrel, and an interpreter of the Great American Songbook in the style of Frank Sinatra. In his current guise, he's a pirate philosopher who, in the words of Walt Whitman, contains multitudes. Dylan said, "I was just thinking about my wife" when he wrote "If Not For You" in 1970. He recorded an earlier version of the song with George Harrison, who released it in All Things Must Pass, and performed it with Bob at the Concert for Bangladesh at Madison Square Garden. I was there. It was a #1 hit for Olivia Newton-John. So let me put on my harmonica, and there's on the chat the words of the songs that Louise has kindly posted and will do for all of the songs. Okay, let's go back to where it is. Here we are. If not for you, babe, I couldn't find the door, couldn't even see the floor. I'd be sad and blue if not for you. If not for you, babe, I'd lie awake all night. I'd wait for the morning light to shine on through, but it would not be new if not for you. If not for you, the sky would fall, rain would gather too. Without your love, I'd be nowhere at all. I'd be lost if not for you, and you know it's true. gathered to. Without your love, I'd be nowhere at all. Oh, what would I do if not for you? If not for you, winter would have no spring. I couldn't hear a robin sing, just wouldn't have a clue. Anyway, it wouldn't ring true if not for you. All right. In 1973, Bob played a small role in Sam Peckinpah's Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, and wrote several songs for the movie's score, including Knockin' on Heaven's Door, which was inspired by a scene in which the sheriff, played by Slim Pickens, is murdered by Billy's gang and dies in the arms of his wife. I'm sure you know this song fairly well. So let's, if you want to sing along, the words are in the chat. Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. That long black cloud is coming down. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, I can hear that thunder roll, echoing down from God's distant shore. I can hear him calling, calling for my soul. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door.
Nicely done, nicely done.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I gotta switch guitars here just for a minute. Dylan's reluctance to be a propagandist for the left didn't prevent him from exposing racism, injustice, and other social ills. In 1976, he became interested in the case of Reuben Hurricane Carter, middleweight boxer convicted of triple murder in 1966. Collaborating with theatrical director Jacques Levy, he wrote a ballad called Hurricane. Ballads are not newspaper reports or legal briefs. The balladier's appeal is emotional. Dylan took some liberties with the facts, yet Hurricane was very influential. Carter got a second trial where he was again found guilty, and finally had all charges dismissed by a Supreme Court judge in 1988. So here's the Ballad of the Hurricane. Pistol shots rang out in a barroom night. Enter Patty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees the bartender in a pool of blood, cries out, "My God, they killed them all." Here comes the story of the hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 3 bodies lying there, does Patty see? And another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. "I didn't do it," he says, and he throws up his hand. "I was only robbing the register. I hope you understand. I saw them leaving," he says, and he stops. "One of us had better call up the cops." So Patty calls the cops, and they arrive on the scene with their red lights are flashing in the hot New Jersey night. Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Reuben Carter and his couple of friends are driving around. Number 1 contender for the middleweight crown had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down when a cop pulled him over to the side of the road, just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street unless you want to draw the heat. Alfred Bello had a partner in Iraq for the cops. Him and Arthur Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. He said, "I saw 2 men jump running out. They looked like middleweights. They jumped into a white car without a state plate." And Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cops said, "Wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead." So they took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, they told him that he could identify the guilty man. 4 in the morning, and they haul Reuben in, take him to the hospital, and they bring him upstairs. The wounded man looks up through his one dying eye, says, "Why'd you bring him in here for? He ain't the guy." Yeah, here's the story of the hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 4 months later, the ghettos are in flames. Reuben's in South America fighting for his name, while Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game. And the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for somebody to blame. Remember that murder you happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? You think you'd like to play ball with the law? Think it might have been that fighter that you saw running that night? Don't forget that you are white. Arthur Dexter Bradley said, "I'm really not sure. A cop said a poor boy like you could use a break. We got you for the motel job. We're talking to your friend Bello. Now you don't want to have to go back to jail. Be a nice fellow. You'll be doing society a favor. That son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in stir. We want to pin this triple murder on him. He ain't no gentleman Jim. Reuben could take a man out with just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it all that much. It's my work, he said, and I do it to pay. And when it's over, I just as soon go on my way up to some paradise where trout streams flow and the air is nice, and ride a horse along a trail. But then they took him to the jailhouse where they tried to turn a man into a mouse. Reuben's cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Reuben's witnesses drunkards from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary bum. And to the black folks, he was just crazy. No one doubted that he pulled the trigger. And though they could not produce the gun, the DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the all-white jury agreed. Reuben Carter was falsely tried. The crime was murder one. Guess who testified? Bellow and Bradley, and they both baldly lied. And the newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of just such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game. Now all the criminals in their coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Reuben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell, an innocent man in a living hell. This is the story of the hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
Fantastic.
I wish I had a band, but yeah. So now we're moving on. If I can get unplugged from this, there we go. This is In the Garden. In the late 1970s, Dylan became a born-again Christian. His Jewish upbringing had never precluded his fascination with Jesus, and his musical proclivities had often led him into the world of gospel and blues, which are in many ways two sides of the same coin. Bob's band during the gospel period was one of his very best, and the women who sang with him on that tour inspired some of his greatest vocals. I highly recommend the live set that from that, there's a box set of music from that period. It's great. In the Garden is a meditation on the thoughts and behavior of Jesus's disciples at Gethsemane, and a provocative probe of human faith and weakness. When they came for him in the garden, did they know? When they came for him in the garden, did they know? Did they know he was the Lord? I'm sorry. I have a little bit of problem here. Did they know he was the Son of God? Did they know he was the Lord? Did they hear when he told Peter, Peter, put up your sword? When they came for him in the garden, did they know? When they came for him in the garden, did they know? When he spoke to them in the city, did they hear? When he spoke to them in the city, did they hear? Nicodemus came at night so he wouldn't be seen by men, saying, Master, tell me why a man must be born again. When he spoke to them in the city, did they hear? When he spoke to them in the city, did they hear? When he healed the blind and crippled, did they see? When he healed the blind and crippled, did they see? When he said, pick up your bed and walk, why must you criticize? Same thing that my father do. I can't do likewise. When he healed the blind and crippled, did they see? When he healed the blind and crippled, did they see? Did they speak out against him? Did they dare? Did they speak out against him? Did they dare? The multitude wanted to make him king, put a crown upon his head. Why did he slip away to a quiet place instead? Did they speak out against him? Did they dare? Did they speak out against him? Did they dare? When he rose from the dead, did they believe? When he rose from the dead, did they believe? He said, all power is given to me in heaven and on earth. Did they know right then and there what that power was worth? When he rose from the dead, did they believe? When he rose from the dead, did they believe? Yeah. Okay. From the religious to the secular, Blind Willie McTell is a blues reflection on America's racist history. And McTell was a blind street singer from Atlanta from the 1920s to the 1950s. He didn't have any hits in his lifetime, at least for himself, but his recordings influenced performers like Taj Mahal and the Allman Brothers. Now, he played 12-string guitar. I don't play it anything near as well as Blind Willie McTell. Nobody can play or sing the blues like Blind Willie McTell, but here's Dylan's song inspired by him. Seen the arrow on the doorstep. Seen the arrow on the doorpost, saying this land is condemned. All the way from New Orleans to New Jerusalem, I traveled through East Texas, where many martyrs fell. And I know no one can sing the blues like Blind Willie McTell. I heard that hoot owl singing as they were taking down the town. The stars above the barren trees were his only audience. Them charcoal gypsy maidens and struck their feathers well. And I know one thing, nobody can sing the blues like Blind Willie McTell. See them big plantations burning, hear the cracking of the whips, smell that sweet magnolia blooming, see the ghosts of slavery ships. I can hear them tribes a-moaning, hear that undertaker's bell. Nobody can sing the blues like Blind Willie McTell. There's a woman by the river with some fine young handsome man. He's dressed up like a squire, bootleg whiskey in his hand. There's a chain gang on the highway. I can hear them rebels yell, and I know no one can sing the blues like Blind Willie McDowell. Well, God is in his heaven, and we all want what's his. But power and greed and corruptible seem to be all that there is. I'm gazing at the window of the St. James Hotel, and I can tell you one thing: nobody can sing the blues like Blind Willie McDowell.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow,
Look
indeed.
like 12 string.
Fun to play. Okay, we got License to Kill. And we do have License to Kill pretty much in this country. Although Dylan spent most of his life on the road, or has spent, his house in Malibu with the so-called Onion Dome, a Russian dome, makes him a neighbor of sorts. In 1988, he wrote this song based on conversations with a woman that the song says it was on his block. Now, I have it on good authority that she exists and is sympathetic to Code Pink. So here's, if I can find my capo, License to Kill. Man thinks if 'cause he rules the world, he can do with it as he please. And if things don't change soon, he will. Oh, man has invented his doom. First step was touching the moon. Now there's a woman on my block. She just sits there as the night grows still. She say, who's gonna take away his license to kill? Now they take him and they teach him, and they groom him for life, and they set him on a path where he's bound to get ill. Then they bury him with stars. They sell his body like they do used cars. Now there's a woman on my block. She just sit there facing the hill. She say, who's gonna take away his license to kill? Now he's hell-bent for destruction. He's afraid and confused, and his brain has been mismanaged with great skill. All he believes are his eyes, and his eyes, they're just telling him lies. But there's a woman on my block, sitting there in a cold chill. She say, who's gonna take away his license to kill? You may be a noisemaker, spirit maker, heartbreaker, backbreaker, leave no stone unturned. Maybe an actor in a plot, that may be all that you got to your error. You clearly learned. Now he worships at an altar of a stagnant pool, and when he sees his reflection, he's fulfilled. No man is opposed to fair play. He wants it all and he wants it his way. Now there's a woman on my block. She just sit there as the night grows still. She say, who gonna take away his license to kill? Yeah, I like that song. All right. This is Emotionally Yours. It was written in 1985. And it works as a straightforward love song. The OJs did a great version of it. Harmonies and really, really sweet and slick. But the lyrics are worth close attention. In the chat, I've put some verbs and participles in boldface. The rhymes are just unpredictable enough to seem fresh. I'm drawn to the singer's need, for instance, to be found and reminded in the first line, or to be rocked and locked into the shadows of the heart in the second stanza. And so I just suggest like paying some attention to them. Although they go down easy, they're interesting. See what you think. Come baby, find me. Come baby, remind me of where I've once begun. Come baby, show me you know me. Tell me you're the one. I could be learning, you could be yearning to see behind closed doors. But I will always be emotionally yours. Come baby, rock me. Come baby, lock me into the shadows of your heart. Come baby, teach me. Come baby, reach me. Let the music start. I could be dreaming, but I keep believing you're the one I'm living for. And I will always be emotionally yours. It's like my whole life never happened. When I see you, it's as if I never had a thought. I know this dream, it might be crazy, but it's the only one I've got. Come baby, shake me. Come baby, take me. I would be satisfied. Come baby, hold me. Come baby, help me. My arms are open wide. I could be unraveling wherever I'm traveling, even too far inshore. But I will always be emotionally yours. Yeah, I will always be emotionally yours.
Sweet.
Ah, good. Well, staying in this this kind of relational area, we're now up to 1988 in his career. I've been going chronologically with the songs, following his development or whatever. I don't know if development is quite the right word, but just the course of his artistic explorations. And here's a song called What Was It You Wanted from 1988. And it seems to go deeper into a relationship. It's hard to pin the singer down. Are these questions genuine or just a barrage bullying the listener into silence? As the song progresses, jealousy and betrayal loom. Well, I wonder why the you in the song never talks back. It's just a series of questions with no answer. And some see the song as Dylan's response to fans who want to know all about his life, or people who want him to write what they want him to say. Others suggest that this is a soul talking to a self, or maybe a seeker questioning God. When I sing it, I inevitably find myself in both positions, as I and as you. But you can more or less judge for yourself. Just looking to see how I play this. What was it? Oh, sorry. There we are. What was it you wanted? Tell me again so I'll know what's happening in there. What's going on in your show? What was it you wanted? Can you say it again? I'll be back in a minute. Can get it together by then. What was it you wanted? You can tell me I'm back. We can start it all over. You get it back on the track. Got my attention. Go ahead, speak. What was it you wanted when you were kissing my cheek? Was there somebody looking when you gave me that kiss? Someone there in the shadows, someone that I might have missed. Is there something you need? Something I don't understand? What was it you wanted? Do I have it here in my hand? Whatever you wanted slipped out of my mind. Would you remind me again? You'd be so kind. Has the record been breaking? Did the needle just skip? Is there somebody waiting? Was there a slip of the lip? What was it you wanted? I ain't keeping score. Are you the same person that was here before? Is it something important? Maybe not. What was it you wanted? Tell me again, I forgot. Whatever you wanted, what could it be? Did somebody tell you you could get it from me? Is it something that comes natural? Is it easy to say? Why do you want it? Who are you anyway? Is the scenery changing? Am I getting it wrong? Is the whole thing going backwards? Are they playing our song? Where were you when it started? Do you want it for free? What was it you wanted? Are you talking to me?
This is wonderful, Larry. Thank you. Wow. Woo!
Yeah, what a song. Blues and country music abound with poor boy blues. Songs about a hopeless schlemiel who inevitably says and does foolish things. I'm afraid I've been a poor boy all my life. These songs allow us to laugh at the clown from behind the mask that we're wearing. Dylan's Po' Boy includes a joke from a Marx Brothers movie and an amusing Shakespearean mashup. And see if I can do it justice. Man comes to the door, I say, for whom are you looking? He says, your wife. I say, she's busy in the kitchen cooking. Oh boy, where have you been? I already told you, won't tell you again. I say, how much you want for that? I go into the store, a man says $3. All right, I say, will you take 4? Oh boy, never say die. Things will be all right by and by. Been working on the main line, working like the devil. The game is the same, it's just on a different level. Poor boy, dressed in black, always at your back. Poor boy in a red hot town, out beyond the twinkling stars, riding first class trains, making the rounds, trying to keep from falling between the cars. Othello told Desdemona, I'm cold, cover me with a blanket. By the way, what happened to that poison wine? She says, I gave it to you, you drank it. Poor boy, playing them straight, picking up cherries falling off the plate. Time and love has branded me with its claws. I had to go to Florida dodging them Georgia laws. Poor boy in a hotel called Palace of Gloom, calls down room service, send up a room. My mother was the daughter of a wealthy farmer. My father was a traveling salesman and I never met him. When my mother died, my uncle took me in. He ran a funeral parlor, did a lot of nice things for me, and I won't forget him. All I know is that I'm thrilled by your kiss. I don't know any more than this. Poor boy, picking up sticks, build your house out of mortar and bricks. Knocking on the door, I say, who is it and where you from? Man says, Freddie. I say, Freddie, who? He says, Freddie, you're not, here I come. Poor boy, laying the stars that shine, washing them dishes, feeding them swine. Bit of a change of pace. All right. I got 2 more songs. Is that going to be okay? That's going to work? Okay. This song is called Mississippi. William Faulkner, whose novels about the imaginary Yaknapatawpha County created a vivid portrait of the state of Mississippi, once wrote that the past is never dead. It's not even past. Bob Dylan clearly knows what Faulkner was talking about. Every step of the way, walk the line, days unnumbered, so am mine. Time is piling up, struggle and we scrape. We're all boxed in, there's nowhere to escape. City's just a jungle, more games to play. Trapped in the heart of it, trying to get away. I was raised in the country, I've been working in the town. I've been in trouble ever since I set my suitcase down. Got nothing for you, had nothing before. Don't even have anything for myself anymore. Sky full of fire, pain pouring down. Nothing you can tell me, I'll see you around. All my powers of expression and thoughts so sublime could never do you justice in reason or rhyme. Only one thing I did wrong, stayed in Mississippi a day too long. Well, the devil's in the alley, mules in the stall. Say anything you wanna, I have heard it all. I was thinking about the things that Rosie said. I was dreaming I was sleeping in Rosie's bed. Walking through the leaves, falling from the trees, feeling like a stranger nobody sees. So many things I never will undo. I know it's sorry, I'm sorry. Some people will offer you their hand and some won't. Last night I knew you, tonight I don't. I need something strong to distract my mind. Give me your hand and say you'll be mine. Well, I got here following Southern Star, crossed that river just to be where you are. Only one thing I did wrong, stayed in Mississippi a day too long. Well, my ship's been split to splinters and it's sinking fast. I'm drowning in the poison, got no future, got no past. But my heart is not weary, it's light and it's free. I got nothing but affection for all those who sailed with me. Everybody's moving, they ain't already there. Everybody got to move somewhere. Stick with me, baby, stick with me anyhow. Things should start to get interesting right about now. My clothes are wet, tight on my skin, not as tight as the corner that I painted myself in. I know that fortune is waiting to be kind. They'll give me your hand and say you'll be mine. Well, the emptiness is endless, cold as the clay. You can always come back, but you can't come back all the way. Only one thing I did wrong, stayed in Mississippi a day too long. All right, well, it looks like the time is nearly up here. I have Ain't Talking and I have Forever Young. I think we should end with Forever Young probably rather than Ain't Talking. So this is one you can sing along with. It's back into the land of the familiar songs. And I hope you've enjoyed this visit to the Dylan of the 80s, 90s, and thousands. And I highly recommend any of the records. They're all great. So let's see what we got for Forever Young. How do I do this in? I don't know. On the key of B. All right. Thank you for letting me do all the talking. Doesn't always have to be this way, but as a former teacher, I've missed having a class of people just listening to me, and it feels good, but not so good that I want to go back to the classroom. So it's a double thing. Yeah. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always be for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the lights surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. You know, Dylan says that he wrote this song thinking of his boys. And turns out that I taught the son of one of his boys when I was at Oakwood School. And we did an independent study course for an entire year in American music. And he said, I want to learn all about American rock and country and blues, but I don't want to hear anything about my grandfather. So the course was all the things that influenced Bob Dylan. From Jimmy Rogers and Hank Williams and Booker White, Muddy Waters, Peter, Paul, and Mary and the Kingston Trio, the Beatles, you name it, everything but Bob Dylan. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young. Last chorus. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young.
Oh, everybody unmute. Give him
What a concert.
Yes,
Wow.
that was great.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Larry. I didn't stay forever young, but thank you.
Larry, did you write the continuity?
The what?
What the words other than the song, the stuff that went between that you told us about,
Yeah,
Bob Dylan.
yeah.
That too was excellent, and I
Thank
thank
you.
you for that.
Thank you. I worked hard on it. Thank you very much.
I thought so.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Have a good Tuesday.
I can't believe how few of those songs I have heard.
Phew.
Well,
The ones that you sang today.
yeah.
Very few of them have I actually heard. Yeah.
How many did he write? Do you have the number?
No, he's recorded something like 800 songs and counting. And I don't know how many he wrote, but somewhere around 400 or 500, I think.
Not surprised. Good for him.
Yeah,
Thank you for the Bob Dylan lesson.
it's really my pleasure.
Time.
Thanks for listening in.
Really fun.
So good.
Okay, anybody want to say anything else before we go?
Good to see
More
you.
thanks and come back again.
Yes.
Okay, I'm happy to do it anytime.
You know what? I would like you to sing songs by a female songwriter next.
I hear you. I've thought of that. Yeah. I noticed when I was looking at what I've done, I'm saying, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, Joni Mitchell is challenging, so but I mean, I play a bunch of the songs, and I got a bunch of female singers I'd be happy to sing.
Oh, sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
For coming.
Thank you.
Bye.